All right, third graders, now that we got our title redesigned and gave it a little more flair, we're going to go through our story now and add some Rebus elements to it to give it a little bit more design look to it. And to do that, first thing we're going to do is we're going to highlight our entire story. So we're going to put our blinking cursor at the end of our story. We're going to simply click and drag up to the beginning of a story to highlight our entire story. Now, don't touch any other keys on your keyboard, because if you do touch a key on your keyboard after you have your entire story highlighted, it's going to delete your story. And it's going to put in that key that you just pressed on your keyboard. To get it back, come up here to the very tippy top of your blue banner here, up in the top left-hand corner, and you'll see this little undo typing arrow. It's facing curves and faces off to the left. Simply click on that once to undo your last thing that you did. In this case, we accidentally typed a key on our keyboard to delete our story. Once our story is highlighted, though, we're going to come up here to our font selection, and we're going to change our font to size 18 or 20 so that our story is now taking more of the page. Not all the page. Notice I still have quite a bit of space down here in the bottom, but I wanted to take up a little bit more room on our story. So either font size 18 or 20. Okay. Once we have our story increased in font size, we're going to change out some elements in our story with a different font size, and font color. So we're going to choose out words that we want to add some special emphasis to. So I'm going to choose one of my words, let's see, and I'm going to double click on it. Let's do Halloween. I'm going to change the font by coming up to our font category and coming up here to our first big box, white box, and we're going to choose a different font. I think this one will work. That looks pretty nice. I'm going to find two more words in my story that I'm going to change the fonts to. So let's see. And you guys can make your choices of words that you want. Let's do knocked, because I think that's an important word. And let's give it a different look. That looks. And I think I'll do spooky. And see if I can find a nice kind of spooky looking font. Something that's going to be easy to read. That works. Okay, so now 3 words in my story have a different font. I'm going to come back and I'm going to choose 3 new words that I'm going to add a different size to. So let's see. Bigger. Let's make that a little bit bigger in our story. Maybe go up to size 26 or 28. I think 28 would be good. That way I can see that it is a little bit bigger. Let's do little. Since I have the word little here, let's make that a little smaller. Let's put that back at size 12. So it just illustrates that it's a little boy. All right, and then let's see, one more word in here. Let's do ghost. Let's change the font size to ghost. Let's make that a little bit bigger. There we go. Size 28. That'll work. So now 3 words in my story have a different font size. They're either bigger or smaller than the rest of the font size for my story. The last thing we're going to do is change 3 words in our story with a different font color to give them more emphasis. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to do, well, let's do candy. Candy, I think I'll change that over to kind of a green color. Let's do, since I talk about dead trees, let's make that into kind of a brown color. And let's see, green skin. I did talk about my monster having green skin, so let's change that over to a nice kind of monsterish green. There we go. Okay, so 3 words in my story now have a different font color. Okay, so when you get done, you're going to have your entire story increased to size 20 to take up a good portion of your paper. And then you're going to come back and you're going to change 3 words with a different font, and 3 different words with a different font size, and 3 different words with a different font color. Okay. All right. It looks like my story is complete. So we're going to stop this video right here.